What I have today is a 2014 Thor Palazzo 36.1 diesel bus. It's only 36 feet long, has a bath-and-a-half floor plan, and can sleep as many people as a bunk coach can sleep, but you don't lose the space that you normally would if you had a bunk setup. It's got brand new floors, new tires, new batteries, and has been meticulously maintained. It's one owner and has been garage kept its whole life, and if that hasn't gotten your attention yet, stick around and maybe I'll be able to gain it. So starting with the front of the bus, we have a one-piece windshield. And what's important about looking at these one-piece windshields is not only the cracks in star chips, which it looks like this bus is free from, but it's also the seals around the windshield is very important to look and check there. Make sure you don't have any leaks, or sometimes they can move and get off place, but this one looks perfect. It looks as it should. Now down here we have a 6,000 watt Onan quiet diesel generator. And what's nice about having a quiet diesel is it just runs off of your diesel tank. And this has a 90-gallon fuel tank, by the way. Now this is actually equipped with an automatic gen start system, an AGS system, which I found to be very impressive. And the more I've spent time with this coach and kind of understood and learned all the systems it has, it's actually very impressive. It's packed with a lot of nice features. And then on top of that, one of the most important facts about looking at a used coach is the condition. And as you'll see today, this has been meticulously maintained. It's not perfect, but it's one of the best you'll see out there from this, like in this age. So you see how there's two tracks up there? Normally these coaches, these Palazzos, have only one track on the top of the full wall slide, and then they have one on the bottom. But the original owner, the guy we bought this thing from, actually added a track on each side. He had it re-engineered, added on there, just to have more stability, and so there's less chance this slide will ever come out of alignment. And it's just much better to have those extra slides. So that's something you won't see any other Palazzo out there have on the market right now. Now, all the windows here are dual pane, and there's no fog whatsoever. They're in good shape. The mirrors are heated. And speaking of mirrors, the side cameras are actually located in the mirror. And I prefer this to the cameras that are located down here. I think you just get a better view of the curb, especially if you're in a tight parking lot or something. I personally prefer the angle you get from the camera in the mirror. It's more farther out. You just get a better perspective of the side of the coach. Now, all of these windows behind the driver and passenger are tinted, which I like. You get more of a sense of privacy during the day while still being able to let natural light come in the coach. And you can see how large this full wall slide is. This right here is a vent for your dryer. This does have a washer dryer stack, not a combo. And that's a nice feature to have. Now, around back here, that window also comes out. All of these windows fold out instead of slide. And it just is much better for ventilation if you want to use your exhaust fans and just run natural air through the bus if it's really nice outside. These are much better to have. They just kind of vent open. You still have the privacy of your tinted window closed and all of that. Now we're going to talk about the compartments a little later. Right now we're just kind of going over the generals on the outside of the bus. Now back here we have a 6.7 liter Cummins ISB. It's producing about 300 horsepower and about 670 foot-pound of torque. And believe it or not, it actually has a 10,000 pound towing capacity, which is substantial for this coach. That's another thing that caught me by surprise, along with many other things. Now, you do have a rear camera up here with infrared, so you can see better at night. And it is hooked up with audio, so if someone's back here directing you, you can clearly hear them through the front. Now, this 6.7 liter Cummins is sending power to the wheels, but with through a 2500 Allison 6-speed automatic, which is, Allison's a legendary transmission manufacturer. I really don't have to spend any time in any of my videos explaining how good they are. They just have a name of their own, and I'm not going to start today. Now back here we have a 10-gallon high output Atwood propane fired water heater, and you can also run it off of 110. It's got a 110 element in there too, so if you're plugged into shore power, you can save propane. Now down in here, I mentioned we weren't going to talk too much about compartments, but I can't help myself. That is a Magnum 2000 watt Magnum 2000 watt inverter. And I said ONM because your part of your AGS is controlled through that. But that means you can turn your brand new Lifeline batteries, 12 volt power, you can turn those batteries into 110. So you can fire up your microwave, your TVs, your outlets, all that good stuff without having to run your generator or be plugged into shore power. Now, we've got Michelin tires all around, and they have 2020 date codes on them. So they're about brand new. They're about 4 or 5 months old. They're Michelin tires, very expensive. One other thing that's a sign of a very good history and maintenance record is it has brand new Lifeline batteries. Those are some of the top of the line AGM batteries. We also have upgraded solar, which we're gonna see more of when we talk about the roof. So a ton of upgrades and a lot of things that are done. This coach is really turnkey. It's extremely clean. Now out here we have the optional LED TV. So you've got a nice entertainment center out here. If you're out here, you have a fire, you have a bunch of family and friends out here, you can easily entertain with this TV. And if it's hot outside and you need some shade, well, you have a 17-foot fully electric patio awning. Push the button and it comes out. Now this is actually 17 feet is a pretty substantial size for a 36-footer. As you can see, they put about as big as they could get an awning on here. This is about the biggest you could do. Unless you'd have to have a double awning to get any bigger. Some of the largest Gerards out there are about 18 feet. So this is about the largest single awning you can get. And as you can see, it comes pretty far out. And honestly, this is my first time looking at the awning, so I'm gonna take a peek at it. There seems to be no tearing. You'll see on old awnings that need replacement material, you'll see them start to tear on the edges like this, but this is showing none of that. It's in very good shape. That's a nice little party trick. Now, one other thing among many more to come is this has fully automatic hydraulic leveling jacks. That's right, these aren't electric leveling jacks as you would normally see on a lot of other more smaller coaches, smaller diesel buses. These are fully hydraulic. And now you can manually control them as well, but they're also one touch. And this coach has the ability to dump the bags so you can get as close to the ground as you can before deploying those jacks. I think that's about it for this part. Let's go talk about the compartments. And one more thing, I mentioned this in a lot of my videos. This is by no means a comprehensive presentation. This is more the things I find cool and things I've seen. And we all make mistakes. I'm still learning every day, so I might be leaving out important features and facts because there's so many gadgets and systems on most of these coaches. But without further ado, let's get into the compartments. So right up front here, on the passenger side, we've got a storage compartment, and these are nice little pieces right here. You can put them under your jacks if you're in a soft spot like sandy or dirt. So I'm gonna leave these in here. Now this is a lit compartment, fully fiberglass lined. Now here is one of the fuel fills for your tank. This has dual fill, so there's another fill on the other side, so you can fill it from both sides of the bus, which is very convenient. Now right here, this is a abnormally large compartment. Normally you don't see compartments this tall, and it's pretty tall. And this piece right here can be adjusted. You can slide it in and out here, so you can push it back if you want, and have taller storage here. It's a really nice use of storage, but really huge in here. Also lit, fiberglass lined. You see some of your chassis right there, which is pretty cool. And I do want to point out, this compartment here is actually heated. You've got power outlets, and you also have a duct from your furnace. So if you have something that's sensitive to cold temperatures in here, your furnace will duct down in here, which is really nice. Seal that up. We've got another storage compartment, fully passed through, a lot of accessories. You can see a lot of tools the previous owner used to take care of this coach. As mentioned, it is one owner, really well taken care of. Now that is your 93-gallon fresh water tank. You have a 43-gallon gray water tank and a 43-gallon black water tank as well. You have filters over there for your water system, which is really beneficial. Means you don't have to hook up to another filter on your hose. It's already built in. Now here is one of the crown jewels of this coach, brand new Lifeline AGM batteries. Please go look up how much these 6-volt batteries cost. I encourage you for that because they cost a lot. Now this is a solar charge controller. It's a smart controller for the upgraded solar panels on the roof, which you got to have this because it maintains the batteries correctly, doesn't constantly overcharge. This is a really nice system to have. It's why when I came in this coach after it sat here for a day in the cold, it's about 30 degrees, and on top of that, the power had been left on, not plugged into power, any shore power, anything like that. The volts on the voltmeter was indicating 13.6 volts, which is pretty high voltage for a coach just sitting there overnight cold with no power, indicating that it was being maintained and charged with those solar panels. Now up here we have our Magnum Energy 2000 watt inverter, and I already pointed this out, really nice system to have. You've got some more solenoids and things like that, isolators back here. I'm honestly not sure what a few of these things are. I think there's some fuses here too, mostly for your chassis side components. And look at this. I wanted to point this out. I love, this is a good idea. You just push it up there, it clicks automatically to hold itself. And the design on this piece here is superb. Look at, get close. I want everyone to take a peek at this. Look at the design on these hinges. Very well built. All of these compartments have these type of hinges. They're just really well built compartments, and that's a minor thing, but again, it adds up to the total experience. Now, right here is our 10-gallon Atwood hot water heater, and you can open this up if you'd like. It's a high output. This could be used to drain, and I love the fact that it has this plug, making it much, much, much easier to winterize the coach. You don't have to unscrew this bolt, you just open that valve. Put that back on. Let's step around to the driver's side. So starting on the back part of the driver's side of the coach, this is a black tank for your rear toilet. Of course, this has two toilets. So you've got one tank here and one up front for the other toilet. This is your DEF fluid tank. And again, same design on these doors, excellent design. Now right here is your wet bay. And you've actually got a pressure regulator accessory. This goes with the coach. Very easy to read and well laid out valves right here. It's really nice to just look at it. You can read it and point the valves in the right direction. Low point drains. You can also hook your city pressure right here. And there's an outside shower, which is really nice, as well as a sewer tank flush. So I love the fact that you have a sewer tank flush on this coach. That's a nice, nice feature. Now as we move forward, we've got the other side of that pass-through storage compartment here. 50 amp, more accessories that go with the bus. And this is the other side to the frontmost pass-through storage compartment. As you can see, it's really large in here. A good bit of storage space. If you read from people who own these, and what I've talked to on the guy who owned it, he really liked all the storage that the coach has. This is your propane tank, of course. And up here is just another storage compartment. You've got relays and fuses for your front dash area, fans and stuff like that. And that completes all of the bays. Let's check out the roof, and then we'll go on the interior of the coach and eventually get it out on the road. So the roof is a one-piece TPO membrane roof, and it's in excellent condition. Being garage kept, we will also notice that there's no clear coat missing from the caps. You really see this a lot. Even on coaches this age, it's extremely common, unless, of course, the coach is garage kept, and this is a huge piece of evidence for it. Now here we can see one of the crown jewels of this coach is the 480 watt solar setup. And this setup is just fantastic. It really adds to the power of the coach during the day, allowing you to not run your generator, to have your TVs and your lights on. It's an excellent system that's also hooked up to a smart power system, so it won't overcharge your batteries or anything. It'll tend them properly. Now we've also got two low-profile Dometic air conditioners here. And of course you can see your exhaust fans. We've got upgraded Max Air vent covers, which is a huge plus that allows you to have your vent fans open when it's raining or if you're going down the road. And overall, the roof is in excellent, excellent condition. Oh, and before we get on the interior, I just wanted to point out this thing has a really neat underlighting for your step. And I can attest from personal experience, this is very convenient at night. So right off the bat, when you walk in this coach, you'll notice the gorgeous flooring we put down throughout it. And we did this even though all these Palazzos on the market right now, and this one included in all those Palazzos, when we first got it, it had this vinyl floor in it, and yeah, the vinyl floor is a hard surface, but it just doesn't look as good as the flooring that we put down. So we went ahead and changed it, spent about $3,500, and our guys do excellent, excellent work. Around the foot pedals for the brake and throttle, that's a place where you can really see the amateurs come out. You'll see where they make a lot of mistakes because it requires a lot of precision cutting around the throttle and brake pedals. And if you don't get it right, it just doesn't look right. And our guys have that down. Now, another thing I want to point out, or a couple of things I want to point out here in this little spiel, is not only is this coach really well equipped, surprisingly equipped actually. It honestly really surprised me when I first started getting in depth with the coach and reading the specs and actually just going through this specific bus with the solar and all the crazy stuff it has. But also the way it was taken care of. You know, I've spoken to the original owner a couple times, and we bought it from the original owner, and he's a nuclear technician, has been so for a very long time, and it was always his dream to have a coach. And he never let this thing see salt or snow. He kept it in the garage when he didn't use it, and during the wintertime they went to Arizona. So the coach has been really, really well looked after, and in his own words, he said it's been spoon-fed, and I can definitely attest to that, because the upgrades and maintenance that's been done on this thing is like 3 pages long. He changed the oil at 9,000 miles, which is unheard of for a diesel. Most people change it like 15,000 miles. He religiously flushed the black and gray tanks just to keep the sensors perfectly clean. He had these rails re-engineered so this full wall slide is more stable than it was from factory. He had an upgraded sway bar added, the solar. I mean, I could sit here and ramble for a long time about the upgrades because they're so extensive. But I think one statement here will conclude and summarize all of what I think about this coach, and that is, this is one of the cleanest coaches I've seen in a long time. And it's honestly really surprised me. The power up, I mean, everything about it has really surprised me. So, before I bore you to death with how great I think this coach is, and I know this is a really clean coach, for someone out there looking for an excellent condition Palazzo, I really don't think you're going to find anything either cleaner or as well equipped. But before I bore you to death, let's go talk about the interior a little bit. So in the kitchen area here, this thing surprisingly has Corian countertops. So this is all hard surface here, very nice to touch. You've got Corian inserts here as well for the double sink, as well as your 3-burner gas stove. And this is actually a pretty sizable sink here. Now all of the faucets in the coach are finished in nickel. They're like a nickel finish. And look at this backsplash, very nice. To be completely honest with you, I don't think that's real tile, but it looks like real tile. And honestly, you'd have to sit here and like really study it to understand that it's not tile, but it looks fantastic. Up above, we've got a Whirlpool Gold Series convection microwave oven, and there is a tremendous amount of storage throughout the coach. And you just really see that when you walk around it. There's storage everywhere in this thing. Now over here, we've got an 18 cubic foot residential refrigerator with a freezer on top. And of course, it does have an ice maker, and you can really control this thing very well. But these are so nice. The old refrigerators and old coaches were known to have a lot of problems. Not have a lot of problems, but sometimes would be the source of fires. But beyond the fires, you'd normally in an older coach have a single here, especially in a short bus like this, but this being a single household is just massive. Anyways, this is a great feature to have. Now, I want to point out this is your half bath, and it's actually a very sizable half bath considering that this is a 37 foot coach. You've got a good bit of leg room in here. You've even got your own sink, and you've got a huge amount of medicine cabinet space. Well lit in here, LED lights, you've got an exhaust fan. Just a nice little half bath that's actually very sizable for a coach like this, and it really allows you to accommodate your guests or family members that are up in the front of the coach staying here because it, of course, has so much sleeping capacity. Now here's another surprising feature this bus has, is a washer-dryer stack. Really can't believe it has a washer-dryer stack. I don't know where they found the room, but I guess they did. You know, this thing feels, sometimes it feels like, I don't know, like maybe I'm revealing that I'm mildly a nerd, but you know, I used to watch Harry Potter when I was very small, and I don't know if some of you probably not even going to get the reference, but there was a character that had a bag where they could stick their hand in the bag, and it was like a huge, huge space in there, even though it was a small bag. That's what this coach feels like. It's like a 36 footer, and then you walk in it and you're like, whoa, like am I in a 45 footer? It's kind of funny. But that's just sort of how it feels in here because there's so much packed into this little thing. Now here is your dinette, and as I mentioned, couch, co-pilot seat, dinette, all brand new upholstery. So it's immaculate. I mean, it's brand new, so it's perfect upholstery. Super comfortable, by the way. This is also a hard surface Corian-like countertop. And I say Corian-like because, to be completely honest, I haven't seen the little Corian badge, but it looks and feels identical to Corian. It's a hard surface. Now this dinette turns into a bed, so you can sleep people here if you like. Nice storage up above, and let's move on to our couch here. Now this couch placement is excellent because our TV is right across there. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now this will turn into a 54-inch by 75-inch bed, so you can sleep someone here very comfortably, 2 people here if you'd like. I also love these cup holders back here. Notice the cup holders. You know, doesn't seem like much, but if you're on the road, you really need cup holders back here for people who are hanging out in the back while you're driving, because you hit the brakes, suddenly going around a corner, your cups are going flying, so it's nice to have that. Now right here, these of course swivel around, your co-pilot pilot's chairs, and they're very comfortable chairs. Large, very cushy, again, brand new upholstery, so not many people, I think no one's really sat here yet. So we're about to sit here for the first time on this new upholstery. Now, this whole piece comes down, but before we talk about that, I want to point out, you've got an electric shade up here, and I love the design. It looks really nice, very flush, good design. So when it's closed, it just looks better than some other designs that I've seen. It's push button, it comes down, and you can also use it as a sun visor while you're driving. Now, over here on the co-pilot area, let's point out a flaw. You've got some like weird little marks here. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, some little weird marks. That happens on these upholstery. That's honestly why we replaced all the upholstery in here. And sometimes during this era, a lot of coaches had flaking upholstery, so we had taken care of all this stuff, and that happens. But this is actually a really nice spot for someone to sit, because you not only have, you've got your outlets over here, 110 volt as well as 12 volt, so you can plug into your computer, or you plug a desktop in or whatever. This little workstation comes out, and I've never opened this before, so have patience with me. I'm honestly not sure. Oh, it works like that. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so that comes up like that, and you've got a great workstation, cup holders, lots of storage over there, so you can really, this is the best seat in the house. If you want to sit here and work or do whatever, laptop, electronics, have a little workstation, but still be able to navigate and help the driver, you certainly can. And it's great to be able to work and do whatever and have like a workstation desk basically while flying down the road. It's a great place to sit. But one other thing, you can also have the dinette as a great workplace. I know I've always used dinettes and coaches as a workplace while going down the road. It's perfect setup for that. Now right here, lots of storage. I'm going to glaze over that stuff. We've got a Jensen TV. Now the TVs are new in this coach, and one interesting fact about these TVs is they are 12 volt TVs, so you can run them straight off the batteries. You don't have to have your inverter, shore power, or generator on. You could just have them straight off the batteries. Very convenient, very nice to have. We've also got a Roku TV set up, so we've got a Roku for the back TV as well as the front TV here. A Vizio soundbar with a Vizio subwoofer down there, so actually a pretty decent sound system in here. And notice the shades here too. So we've got day and night shades everywhere, and they're like the MCD type shades. Look at this. So all you do is pull them down like that, and that's it, right? They're great shades. And I haven't seen the MCD badging, but they're identical to MCDs. Now these, I think I pointed them out on the outside, but look how easy that is. And you've got the screen here built in, so you can easily ventilate, especially on a day like today. It's like 70 degrees outside in Greenville, South Carolina. So you can just open this up and vent out, which is really nice. Just get that outside air in here. I totally forgot to point out this, the drop-down bed. So this is actually a really cool feature here. You just press the button, you undo pins. There are 2 safety pins that are hanging there, so just in case. You're not gonna have this drop on you ever, but you just push the button and it comes down. That is super cool. And on top of that, You also have a great view out here. So you put your mattress, there's some cushions that come with the coach, you put them up here, you've got a ladder to climb up here, and it's essentially like a Class C bed up here. Except you have a great view. I mean, imagine waking up and you just have this beautiful view all around. I absolutely love the placement of this bed. But that's about it. You just push the button. And while I'm showing you the button here, let's talk about this command center real quick. So in the command center here, we have our 2,000 watt inverter control. This is also where you control the automatic generator start system. You extend your slides, water pump. This is where you turn your tank heat on, as well as your water heater. Now, by the way, the element in the water heater is brand new. He just had that installed before we picked it up. Now, right down here is where you control the front bed. You can check your tanks here, and that is the main little control center. So in the master bedroom area, and this is one of the coaches, because it's a bath and a half, we can close off this bedroom from the front of the bus and have our bedroom and master bathroom just sitting here all together as one piece. So you can be 100% secluded and not have to go up there unless you want a snack if you want to be. Now right here we've got our bed, we've got reading lights there, a lot of storage up above, windows for each person, so I love that. And also you've got storage down here on the side. You've got a lot of storage down the side if you want to store your phone or anything, remote controls for the TV, all that good stuff can be stored in there. Now over here, we've got these huge wardrobe spaces. Same on the other side. And right here, we've got some extra original, the covers. And this right here has all the original stuff. So it's got the original build sheet, a lot of the maintenance, all the maintenance the guy has done, and all the original manuals are right there. So this is one of those coaches that does have maintenance records, which is super rare, especially for a coach like this. Yeah, this whole setup here is fantastic with all these drawers. Look at the drawers down here. Just a great wardrobe setup here. Beautiful window. Now this one also vents. I pointed that out, and that's an excellent feature. You got the screen here, so you can have that ventilating through here. And by the way, this has 2 air conditioners in here, all ducted throughout. And you've also got these upgraded RV AC silencers. So these are sort of silence or try to compress or suppress the noise a little bit that comes from the air conditioners. Now in the master bathroom back here, again, we finished this all out on floors, and our guys have been doing an excellent job at making everything look flush, and this floor looks like it came from the factory. All the cuttings around the driver and passenger pedal, I mean not the driver and passenger pedals, but around the brake and fuel pedal, they're all precisely cut. Look at the cut around this toilet. That is very precise, and it just looks fantastic. That's really the sign of a skilled craftsman doing this job versus an amateur weekend warrior, and that makes a huge difference. Now we've got a pocket door to shut this master bathroom off if you'd like, so you can just grab this and shut it, and it locks there. Check that out. Do you see that? So it locks automatically. So look, it won't, see, look, I'm pushing it, it's locked. You push that down. These are by far one of the best designs for a pocket door in the RV industry. Now over here we've got our shower, and this is actually a pretty large shower. Again, considering this is 36 feet long, and we've got a pretty sizable stand-up, decently sized shower back here. Now I'm about 6 foot tall, and I've got a little bit of space above me, so if you're like 8 feet tall, this coach is probably not going to work for you unless you're cool with doing this. But if you're about 6 feet, this is going to be more than adequate. Even if you're a little taller than me, 6'2", you'll probably also be just fine here. So this is a sizable shower. Now right here we've got a good amount of countertop space. We've got a sink here, a lot of cabinet space, and check this out. This just slides out like that, right? And you've got this huge piece. Now you can also kind of use this as a wardrobe if you like. You can take this out and hang things on it. So this is a really cool feature. Slides back in. That's a good side, good hard lock. Again, more storage over here. There's an incredible amount of storage in this bus. You can use this as a wardrobe if you'd like. And I like how this window is frosted, so people can't just look in, but you still have that beautiful natural light coming in. And this vents out too. Got an exhaust fan up top. Of course, you can have this closed off, but you really never need to use that because this is frosted. No one can see in. That's a great idea for that window. I think that's about it for the interior. And again, It's not comprehensive. I've probably forgotten a few little things here and there, but I'm too excited. Let's go get on the test drive. So before we get on the road here, I just want to take a quick peek and go over this cockpit area. So here we have our hydraulic jack leveling control system, so we can manually level the coach with those jacks or press auto. Mirror heat, of course, 6-speed Allison control, nice little cup holder here. The mirrors are electrically adjustable. We've got our exhaust brake, auxiliary start, so you can jump both batteries if you need to jump the coach off or the generator off. Windshield wipers, this is to control the smart logic screen in the center. This is our headlight control as well as fog light control. Now right here is where we can dump our airbags, so do that and the bags dump. We've also got a nice little storage compartment over here to the left with a free pencil in it. This is where our parking brake is located. Steering wheel here, cruise control. I love that we've got our gauges for our airbags. So we've got airbag in the front, rear airbag pressure. These are good looking dials. Freightliner always does good dials. Now this is our generator control. We've got auxiliary dash fans here that we can turn on and off. Our nightshade control, dome light, and then our Jensen Sirius XM radio right here in the center. Now this is where all your cameras will pop up too. So that is the cockpit. Let's drive out on the street now. So we haven't made it to the highway just yet, but I mean, so far, and I've already driven the coach a little bit, so I'm kind of cheating, but so far the coach is just an excellent driving bus. It doesn't like to sway a lot. It doesn't wander around like a lot of other coaches do. The engine brake is quite strong actually, which I find to be very pleasing. I hate weak engine brakes. They're one of the most annoying things on the planet. And this one has a nice engine brake, and the engine actually sounds good in this thing. That 6.7 for some reason really sounds nice in here, and the power is surprising. To be quite frank, when I saw 6.7, you know, I wasn't expecting much. I was like, okay, you know, 300 horsepower, 660 foot-pound of torque. Okay, I'm driving coaches that have like 2,000 foot-pound of torque. But here's the thing to remember and think about when you think about this coach and why it has a 10,000 pound towing capacity is not only the 6-speed Allison transmission, but the fact that the GVWR is about 28,000 pounds. It's a lightweight little guy. It kind of feels like it scampers around. That's sort of that's the word that came to, or the phrase that came to my mind is scampering around. That's what it feels like. So check this out. We're going to do the power test here. Remember the bridge. So I just floored it back there. We're going uphill, and this is my classic bridge test. You can probably refer to a couple of my other videos where I do this. So we're already at 55 miles an hour, merging on. My side camera pops up right there when I turn on the indicator to the left, and we are at 64 miles an hour when we cross that. That's stout. Very stout. We're at 67 miles an hour. We just crossed 70 miles an hour. Up a hill, we're still accelerating. Look, I'm going to do this with a little index finger. Do not do this. Not recommended at home. 75 miles an hour. With a finger, up a hill, around a corner. I'm going to cool it though. You shouldn't do that. Let me grab the steering wheel again. But that was to demonstrate how stable the coach is. I'm going to set cruise control. Cruise control works great. The viewing position out of here is fantastic. The window is huge, and I get an excellent view out of the front of the coach. And I kind of like how big the dash is. It feels, I don't know, I've always liked coaches that have big, long dashes. A dash that you could probably play soccer or football on. I always like that. It just gives you a cool, unique feel sitting up here in the cockpit. Again, camera comes on, completely makes me feel so comfortable that no one's over there. I'm not about to run anyone off the road. The stability is good. I've got cruise set at about 68 miles an hour. Not much swaying at all. Not much wandering at all. Actually, there's zero wandering. And I think that's majorly due to that really nice sway bar, upgraded sway bar we have down there. Because the previous owner was telling me that he didn't like how much it swayed, so he found the nicest, did all the research, got the nicest sway bar that he could find, and put it on here. And this is, I mean, it works wonders. I mean, look at this thing. Zero wandering, which is surprising for a coach like this that only has a GVW RS 28,000 pounds. You'd think it's going to wander. But yeah, excellent drive. Plenty of power. The brakes feel good. We've got full air brakes. We've got disc brakes in the front. Excellent driving bus. 10 out of 10. This is great. The lack of wandering is utterly surprising because, and that's a huge factor on these coaches, especially a coach like this. 36 footer, there are not many out there that have stout chassis because a lot of them are so lightweight. They use cheaper chassis stuff, chassis materials, not as high-end suspension, all that. And they just, a lot of them out there don't handle very well. This one handles excellently. And the exhaust brake is perfect. Look at this. I haven't touched the brakes yet. We're already down to 30 miles an hour. Isn't that terrific? Now, exhaust brake is like mandatory. Not by law, but by a sane mind if you're trying to tow something really heavy. Especially if you're going to be planning to use all of that 10,000 pound towing capacity. You want that exhaust brake. Yeah, the power is good. This thing really does scamper around. And again, it comes down to the weight, right? You put this in a drag race versus like a 600 horsepower, 600 horsepower is going to lose. And that's because the 600 horsepower is found in coaches that weigh like 45, 50,000 pounds. So you have to consider the weight too. A lot of people say, oh, well, I refuse to buy if it don't have a 400 or a 450. And hey, look, I get you, all right? You want to make yourself feel a little better by having a big engine. But it comes down to the power-weight ratio. Remember that, folks. Power to weight ratio. That's why huge ships that have thousands of horsepower are super slow anyways. Again, power to weight. That's a little different situation, but you know what I mean. I think that's going to conclude the driving. The coach is excellent on the road. The side cameras, the stability with that sway bar, the power output, the 10,000 pounds, the 6-speed Allison is just excellent. The exhaust brake is perfect. Yeah, this is a great driving coach right here. So I think that's going to conclude the video. Oh, I'm so sad. We had to end it here. I could spend a lot of time with this little guy. And I have, to be honest. So, oh, look at that. That's a new 3. Those new 3 series look really good. So, just to be in alignment with the rest of the video, without further ado, let's end the video. If you have any questions about it, or you're interested in the bus, give me a call or text. And, I'll leave my number in the description, or I'll give it to you right now. It's 864-376-5600. That's my cell phone number. Please don't wear it out. I'm just kidding. Call me up. You have any questions, I'll try my best to answer it. But let me end on this. This, and I'd be willing to bet, and I'm very, very confident, this is the nicest, cleanest Palazzo 2014, even 15 or 13 around it, that you can buy right now. Trust me, I've looked at the market. It's not only the cleanest though, and it's not just about the cleanliness and how good the condition is. It's got a lot of upgrades too. And I've been harping on them the whole time here, and I've probably forgotten a couple of them. Like, he put grills on the propane system so nothing can get in there. I mean, look, he put an extra easy valve to empty it. Look, there's a lot of little things he did here and there that really upgraded the coach. But look, this is one of the cleanest, nicest Palazzos you can buy right now. And that says a lot. And when it really, especially after 5-6 years on age, you know what matters most? Out of most things, if you're comparing, two coaches side by side, and you're like, should I get this brand or should I get that brand? You know what trumps that? Condition. Condition and the upgrades that have been done and the maintenance over time. That is one of the most important things if not that is the most important thing. I can say that with confidence. That is the most important thing in buying a used coach, is the condition of it. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Whoa, look, an H1 Hummer. Humvee, that's so cool. Anyways, yeah, look at that thing, that's so cool. So I'm going to end it right there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this and more coaches like this. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.